Hello guys and welcome back. In this lecture, we're going to be tracing our hand-drawn pattern elements in Adobe Illustrator. So I'm just going to start by creating a new document using my presets here, and first things first, we're going to import our hand-drawn pattern element. So go to File and Place, and then come here in hand-drawn pattern element 1. Okay, just place, and now we have our pattern elements here. Okay, so we're going to just select this guy and duplicate to the right hand side. Okay, so we have two copies. Now what I want to show you is two different ways of drawing these guys, okay, of tracing these guys. I'm going to trace this guy here using what we call image trace. Okay, so we're going to just vectorize this drawing and kind of just trace the whole thing, and it's the quickest way. Okay, and this other one, we're going to use our paintbrush tool to draw out our patterns. So I'm going to create a new layer now, and for this guy, I'm going to select this guy and just reduce the color, or rather the opacity, like this. Okay, so I see behind it a bit. I'm just going to reduce it to maybe 40 or 33. Okay, maybe 36, just to see what's happening here, while also giving me the room to see what I'm going to be drawing. Okay, so I'm just going to tuck this guy away, and now we're going to start by using our paintbrush tool to draw out our patterns, right? So I'm going to lock my layer here and now draw on this new layer. So come and select my paintbrush tool, double click to see the options, and I like what I have. Maybe I'm just going to keep selected and edit part selected, so that while I draw, I can maybe continue drawing like this. I don't know, maybe I should just undo or uncheck the feature, right? Maybe I should just uncheck this too, so as to draw normally. So I'm going to select my paintbrush tool and then just draw. And if I'm not okay with my drawing, I'll just undo the drawing and redraw. I'm okay with this guy. Then for this one, I'm just going to draw, maybe undo and try to make it more perfect. Okay. Undo. Now I'm going to take my time to make sure I get something cool or really nice. Perfect. So for the middle guy, I'm just going to draw like this. For this guy, I'm going to draw like this. Sorry, undo. Draw like this. Draw like this. Okay. Like this. Undo. Go like this. Like this. And like this. Undo. I don't want it extending out. Yeah, I like what we have so far. And for this one, I'm just going to draw and keep drawing. Undo. Undo. Okay, I'm okay with this guy. And then draw the next one. Undo. Not okay with that one. Okay, I don't like this one either. We're going to start from this side here. Okay, and hopefully we'll get something better. It's a bit small, so I'm just going to manually increase the size. Okay, and then increase the size. And yeah, I like what we have so far. Select my paintbrush tool and draw out my guys. Okay, next for this guy, I need to draw out do okay, then okay, and finally we have this one here. Okay, I'm not okay with you. I'm just going to undo and draw it. Perfect. Now we have these little circles inside them. I'm just going to draw them quickly. Undo. Undo. Perfect. Okay, I'm just going to work on this guy now. So maybe I'll reduce the stroke size a bit. Okay. Maybe I'll just keep it at 1. Okay. So sorry. I'm just going to start with this part first. Perfect. And then draw this part. Okay, and then draw this part. And finally, this part. Good. Then we have this part here. And this part. And finally, we have this part. Perfect. And we're done with most of our work. We only have 2 left, this guy and this guy. So for this one, I'm starting with the middle here. Sorry, undo. Starting with the middle here. Okay, I'm just going to undo it. It's too big. Okay, and then we have this guy here. Undo. So I'm going to just go with this one. Okay, then we have these guys, this one, this guy, and this guy here, and finally we now have these flowers, right? So something like this and like this. Undo. Just redo it like this and like this, and draw it out like this. This one we have this and this. Sorry, I'm just going to undo. I'm just going to redraw it like this and like this. This one, I'm going to redraw it like this. And this. Do. Yeah, I think I'll just undo it again and try it one more time. Okay, I think I'll undo it again and try it one more time. I think I'll just go with this one. Let me just uncheck like this, and yeah, I'll go with what I have here. And maybe I'll just instead of just going with it, I'm just going to expand it a bit like this. Maybe drag this guy like this. Yeah, and then yeah, I like what I have here, even though I would like to maybe extend this anchor point out like this. Yeah, and I like what we have so far. And then we have two more elements. We're not going to draw this guy because it's basically a repetition of this one. Okay, so we have these two elements. Take your paintbrush tool and draw this part like this, and then let's just draw the branches before going to the leaves. Okay, so I'm starting with this leaf, this, and this, like this, and like this. Okay, this and like this. For this guy, I think I will just select the guy, maybe rotate it a bit and reduce the size. This. Okay. For this other guy, so I'm just going to reduce the size. And yeah, going to reduce the size too. Maybe position like this. For these other ones, I'm going to draw them out quickly. Perfect. Just going to see what we've been able to achieve. Perfect. And then finally we have this one. So select my paintbrush tool, draw the middle. Just draw it better. Okay, we even have here look a bit like this. Okay, yeah, and then for the body, just going to have it like this, and like this. I won't really follow what I have in my drawing perfectly. Okay, so I'll just manage what I have. I'll just manage what I have here and do the same for the right hand side. And unfortunately for me, I have to restart this one. Maybe I can just, yeah, I have to restart. So I can just restart like this. I'm finding it hard to complete, so yeah, what I will do is I'll just select my direct selection tool and just complete it manually. Okay, that's one advantage of using the paintbrush tool. You can use your direct selection tool to complete stuff, right? Because you actually have them as anchor points and handles, like how we have them here. So when I close this layer, when I hide this layer, we see that we've been able to trace our drawing like this. Okay, and it looks good. So we're just going to do the next one. Now for this other guy, I'm going to use a different method. Okay, I'm going to use the image trace method. So whenever you import an image into Adobe Illustrator, you see this image trace button here. Now this button helps you trace out your images. It helps you vectorize your images, and we learned about vectorization of images in the beginner course. Okay, it's a quite basic function in Adobe Illustrator. So you can vectorize your images by coming to objects and then image trace and then make. Okay, now when you click on make, it's going to, okay, it's warning me that my image is kind of be large. Okay, it's a large image and this will take more RAM. Okay, so I'm just going to click OK, and you can see that it's now processing my image, and immediately it's done. We have our hand-drawn image vectorized. Now let's just undo our vectorization and come to Windows, and we can access the image trace panel. Okay, sorry, you can't see the image trace panel here. Anyways, just select your guy here and let's hit image trace and OK. Now when we come to our properties, we can click here and we will then see the image trace panel. So this is the image trace panel, and we can do changes. We can make changes to our work, okay, or to our vectorized art using this panel. So we can just drag it to the left like this. It's going to load before moving finally. Okay, and with this panel now, we can basically see that we have the default preset set, and we have the tracing results, of which these are the tracing results, right? And then the mode is black and white. Okay, but we have other modes as well. We have the color mode, we have the grayscale mode, and we have other presets here which we can try out. But for this lecture, we are not trying out other presets. We can check them for yourself. What we are doing in this lecture is we are trying to trace them out as black and white. Okay, and when we click on advanced, we can see that we have many other options which we can edit. Now we have paths, we now have low and high. When we click on high, we see that it makes changes to our paths. And then we have corners. Then the more we click or the more we adjust, we'll see changes being made to our corners, and even this other one which says noise, right? This will kind of increase the noise. If you look closely, you will see the changes that are being made. Okay, but I don't want to take note of these changes or give them priority in this video, because I just want to achieve something decent and go on with the video. So let me see. Basically, I think we'll just leave these settings like this, but you can explore them on your own later on. Okay, and if you click on ignore white, it's going to just remove all the white spaces. Okay, it's going to remove all the white spaces, and it's going to leave this as objects which we can basically add colors to. But we don't want to ignore all the white spaces, because I want to use the white spaces as my colors. Okay, so I want to add colors to these white spaces, and what I'll then do is just close this image trace panel and click on expand. So it's going to expand our shape, and we now have them as real shapes. Now we now have these guys as a group. Now when we ungroup, we now have them as separate shapes. Now we can take this guy out. Okay, we can take this guy out, and these are all separate vector shapes. Okay, so as you can see, within a few clicks, we've been able to change our drawings into vectors, unlike this other place where we had to draw everything with our hands. Okay, so for this one, we just clicked on a few things and we are now able to change our drawings to vectors. Okay, so I'm just going to select everything here. I'm going to just Control X, sorry, Control X to cut, and then come on this layer, Control F, so as to paste in place. And then what I'll then do is just delete this guy here and delete the layer as well. Okay, so now we only have one layer and we have these drawings on our layer. Okay, Perfect. So that's it for this lecture. And in the next lecture, we'll be basically adding colors to our drawings, to our shapes, and then turning them into patterns. Now, see you in the next one.